Okay, so the first thing we're going to start off with is straight sewing, and you can see I've already done my sample with straight lines on it. You need to use your normal straight sewing foot. In my own machine it's foot 1, and that's what it looks like. So the trick is to ensure that the center of your foot, which is there, aligns with your straight line here. So if I drop my foot, I need to ensure that my eye is on the straight line and the center actually aligns with the line I want to sew on. And you need to be able to sew on a straight line if you are sewing a dart. Before I start sewing, I will ensure that my needle is in the right position, which is in the middle. If you look at my own machine, you can see that I can move my needle to the right and to the left. So if I move it that way, my needle is moving that way. If I move it that way, it's moving that way. So I'm going to make sure it's in the middle, which is number 3. And then I'm going to ensure, for my own machine, I'm going to increase my stitch length to stitch length 3, which is here. You can either increase it. The higher it is, the looser the stitches. So 5 being the higher stitch length, meaning my stitching is going to be very loose. If it's very loose, I usually use that kind of stitching for if I want to do gathering. However, if I make it tighter, I need to just reduce the stitch length. And there's also the tension, which is here, as you can see. And that is what I use to regulate how tight or loose the thread is in the machine. So before I go ahead and start sewing, I leave my finger that way. It's not like you should hold it. You need to hold your thread so that it doesn't go right back into the machine. So I take my first stitch with my finger on it. I need to ensure that my needle is actually hitting my straight line before I go ahead and even start sewing at all. I will take my 3 stitches, which I need to do first so that I can reverse. 3 stitches, 1, 2, 3. And then I keep my finger on the reverse button. Now that reverse button ensures that it goes back to secure the stitch, and then I go forward again. So I will go back, leaving my finger on my reverse button and ensuring that I'm sewing on the exact same line, right? So that it doesn't, if you reverse, you don't want it to fall out of the stitch. And then I go forward again, like that, ensuring that I'm sewing on the exact same line. And as you can see, I'm going to leave my eye. I don't need to stare at the needle. I need to just ensure that the middle of my foot, which is here, is still in line with my straight line. And then I continue sewing like that. And you can see it's actually hitting the straight line. And then when I get to the end, I do the same thing. I reverse like that, press my reverse button, and then go forward. I lift my presser foot, I turn my balance wheel towards me, and then I pull out. I go back and forth and pull out the thread. Always make sure you cut off your threads. Make it a habit to cut off your threads. It's very, very important. And then I'll pull out my thread again, and let me do the next one. Remember, leave your finger. Make sure you hold your thread, as you can see. Take your first stitch, 3 stitches forward, 2, 3. Of course, it can be less than 3, it doesn't have to be like exactly 3. But as long as it's not a lot, and then just sew. And just keep sewing like that on the line. I choose to sometimes hold my fabric like that and like that so I can guide it more easily. So I do it that way, but let me just do this so it doesn't cover what I'm doing. And then I just guide it. Now, do not hold. If you hold, the machine is not going to move. Don't hold. Just keep sewing. Most people are so worried about the sewing machine. Whether you like it or not, it will sew. You can see I'm not holding it and it's still sewing. Your job is just to guide it. And that's why I am guiding it like that. I will get to the end, reverse, and I have my straight line. 2 things to note. You can see I hit my lines. The first thing you need to note is here. The reverse is right on the same spot. Like that. Yeah, right on the same spot. Don't go out of your spot, and then you can see that I'm hitting the lines. Take it easy, just don't rush it. So I'll do the rest and then we'll move on to the next thing. And those are what my straight lines look like. So the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to show you how to sew around corners.